Morning, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. On behalf of Cerenade, thank you for joining us today. My name is Vanessa Vargas. Today, we're going to talk about the admin portal, how to customize eIMMIGRATION, and some of the settings. I always try to remind people to take advantage of the admin customizations because that's when you really maximize your investment and take advantage the the subscription. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. All right, so let's get started. For those that are new, this is being recorded. You can always watch the video. We have a YouTube channel. I'll give you the info in a moment. Um, we also have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to be using today that has, let me show you, it has useful links that you can click on later after today's training. You can also share with your team. So make sure that you click on handouts and you download it. And after the presentation, I'm going to have a Q&A, but you can also chat me throughout the training and you can ask me any questions, okay? Today's session is about admin portal. Some of you are probably not the administrators, so let's find out. If you can please click on your screen, we have a poll in progress. Now, it's okay if you don't have access. I'm glad that you're here, because that way you can talk to the administrator and either one, they give you access, or two, they log in themselves and then take care of the customizations. But the majority of you have access, so that's great. And let's begin. Let's learn more about the admin portal. So I'm going to cover what is a portal, what's the purpose and functionality, and the general overview and how you can customize some of the uh, areas or icons. I'm going to talk about the letter templates and custom fields, how you can connect them to forms so they can auto-populate. If you have billing, you need to customize the items. And also, we're going to go over how to create custom questionnaires, what the form defaults are, document repository, types, smart alerts, the case wizard mandatory fields, custom reports. Again, it's an optional module. It's actually my favorite feature. I'll show you how to schedule them. And also under application settings, there are a lot of settings that I usually recommend that you explore that area. And if you don't know, reach out for help and ask us, like, what is this for, or what does it do? Because with a click of a button, you can make a huge difference. So explore your application settings. I have the link right here that takes you to the user's guide that you can learn more about what they are, or at least the majority of them, because our developers do listen to you. If you have feedback and you have any suggestions, we implement them, not all of it, but the majority of these suggestions or enhancements are from clients that provided feedback. And if you go to the application settings, you'll notice that we have new items there. Branding, that's where you can upload your logo. We're going to talk about referrals. And like I said, we're going to cover a Q&A, and let's begin. All right, so usually when you log in into your caseworker portal, you have on the top right hand corner, it says settings and then administrative tools. My recommendation is that you right click and then open that in a new tab. I like to put it right here. So the administrative portal looks like this, and then I can go back to the regular caseworker portal. You can tell right away because it has a different look and feel. See, this is the admin. And when you are in the admin, first of all, what we're going to talk about is, what is this for? Administrative portal is just for customizations. It is not for you to log in as an admin to review cases or um, add a log or look at the calendar. You do need to access the caseworker portal. Okay. In the past, we used to have separate logins. Now you can easily switch back and forth from the settings icon. The way you can tell if you have access, of course, is if it says admin tools. If you don't see it, contact your admin. They can probably enable it for you. Now, let me give you kind of like a quick general overview. Departments are the locations. So if you want to add a separate department, usually clients think that this system is just for immigration cases. It's not. You can create any processes, any templates, custom fields that are not even related to immigration. And you can separate the cases by departments or locations, not necessarily physical location, but within your company, you may have a department for criminal cases or personal injury, and so you can separate them. Also, sometimes you have an office, not necessarily a law firm, that handles different attorneys, right? Like you get a referral, you send them a case, or you separate them. And so that would be a good option if you want to create as many different departments based on the name of the company or the law firm. And then let me quickly show you the application. So I try to bear with me because I try to go back and forth. So not only I show you how to customize it, but also why. So let's go over quickly a case profile, and this is the case worker portal. If you notice, when you create a case, you have to choose a department. Otherwise, you cannot move forward. So the department, again, it's easier to, I mean, the reason why you want to link it to a department, it's because it's easier to separate cases in the future or locate them. In fact, we have a report that shows you all cases or all clients or contacts that are under a department. Every time that you guys create a contact, you should see department. Now, this is not mandatory. The department that's linked to a contact, it's not mandatory as it is when you create a case. Okay. All right. So let's continue. You know what? Really quick, that I just thought about something. Let's say we're closing our office in Canada. Any cases that we had in Canada, I want to reassign to our office in Africa, I can just reassign with a click of a button. Same thing when you have a paralegal that's leaving the practice or the law firm, you can reassign their work with, if you go to users and let's say a Lenush, I'm gonna click on linked items and I can reassign anything that she worked on, cases or reminders, I can reassign to someone else. Now, let me go to case processes. Case processes, like I said, it's not just for immigration. We have clients that handle more than uh, immigration, like divorce or personal injury. You know, you can create your process. And if you don't, let's say that you don't handle employment-based cases, and I don't want to see, I don't know, like EB3, or I can hide them. These processes, if you click on select edit, you can disable them so they don't show up in the regular drop down menu on the other window. Let me show you what I mean. When you are creating a case, this is the drop down menu that I'm referring to. So instead of scrolling down through, through this list to find the adjustment of status, what you can do is rearrange them. So to do that, you can simply go to the processes in the admin, type, let's say in this case, adjustment of status, adjustment, and then I'm gonna, well, this one is, let's say that I want this one. It's a test, but see, it's all the way at position 406. So I can click on select, move to, and then instead of 406, I want it to be in position number 1, and then click OK. So that's how you rearrange the order of these processes. Someone's raising a hand. I can't unmute you, but you can definitely chat me. So if you can please click on the chat or questions and then let me know. All right, I'll wait for your response. I mean, your question. Um, so yeah, the case processes, again, this is customizable because not maybe you don't need all of these processes, or you probably need to change the elements, meaning, for example, for naturalization, I'm going to click on the little circle that belongs to forms. I want to see the checklist. And I can see that we have the N400, the Wizard, G28, etc. So you can add or remove forms. On the right hand side, you can also change the steps, and we're going to talk about that too. like what's the importance of customizing this? There's no audio. Can someone please confirm that you can hear me? Someone saying that there's no audio. I can. Okay, someone said I can. All right, thank you for letting me know. All right, so I'll continue. Hopefully that person can check their speakers and see what's going on. So steps. Process steps is the workflow or the timeline of the case. Obviously, each office works differently, so you guys don't probably do like consultation and then you send a questionnaire and then you call for follow-up. So you can click on select edit, and then actually I have an example for English and Spanish. So it's the task. What is it that the paralegal needs to do? How many days it should take them to complete this? And should they get an email reminder in case they forget? So that's why you check this box. Now, um, let me show you an example. If you create a case and you go to process steps, if you have those steps by default, they show up here. So your staff needs to just modify the steps and enter their start date. By doing that, and if you have at least a 0, like you see here, we can auto-populate the target date. So it's a lot easier when you delegate and you select the person who's responsible. Then they know, okay, well, I need to, let's say, notify the billing coordinator on September 18th, and Vanessa should do that. And if she forgets, send her an email on September 18th. When a paralegal completes a task, they click here, complete it. And that's how you know what's the end date or completion date. If you run a report, then you know exactly what's been done, when they did it, or what's coming soon. Or if there's something like overdue, let's say that we were supposed to do this a few days ago, it's going to be in red. So you can visually identify anything that's been past due. Not only that, but you can also go to tools, click on tickler, and all of these process steps reflect here. You can modify the tickler, by the way, the time frame in the next 5 days, 620. Like I can see personally that I've got one task in the next 6 to 20 days, which is the one that I just created. And if I click here to show the data for all my case workers, then I can see that we have 3 tasks in the next 6 to 20 days. So if I go to the case, then I know exactly who's supposed to do that. I can easily delegate. And like I said, you can run reports based on, process steps. But it's important that you take the time to go into your admin, case processes, go to the process and then click on steps so that you can build this timeline. It's also good because if you want the client to know what's going on, instead of calling you, you can just click here and share the progress with them. So if I want Valeria, the petitioner, and maybe the husband to the alien to know what's been done or what's coming soon, the clients can also log in into their client portal and they can review the progress of their case if I share that with them. All right, so it's only when you click share. Now my client can click on status and she can see that we've done this and these two are at least we started working on that. We don't show them the dates, otherwise it'll be on our, like it's September 18, you haven't done this. So know that at least it gives them a time, like a status or an update. So again, for many reasons, we recommend that you customize your steps. Like I said, task, number of days, and then if you want the email notification or not. And the other thing you also have here, it's called activities. But today I'm not going to cover it. So if you're taking notes, just write down activities, which is another cool feature that can save you a lot of time. Can you start 2 steps at the same time? Yes, of course, or more. Yes, of course. So the way you would do it is just modify them and then based on your start date. So I can say these 3 are going to start today. So you can have 3, maybe the same person or different, different case workers working on 3 tasks at the same time. Yes, that's based on your selection, of course. I noticed that you had gray color and two different shades of green. Yes, because based on this, see, for example, not everything has a start date. That's why the client sees gray. And when you add at least a start date, then they see a light shade of green versus when I finish that, it's completed, then that was the darker green that you saw. She's referring to this. I was showing the client portal status screen. Thank you for noticing. All right, so let's go back. Anyway, so now you know why it's important that you take the time to customize it, because imagine when you grow, if you are a solo practitioner, especially if you're a solo practitioner, you want this to be your assistant to remind you this is what you need to do instead of you know checking this every single time or writing down on a piece of paper. You can just run a report or rely on the tickler. And if you grow, if you have 10, 15, 20, like, we do have clients that have um, luckily expanded and they have a lot of users. So it's a lot easier to manage a team if you have everything organized. So make sure that you take advantage of the customizations of these process steps. It's also a good uh, training tool, I guess. When you have a paralegal, they know exactly what they need to do, what forms they need to complete, and then also, again, what steps they need to follow. Okay. Next would be like, the documents, checklist, the questionnaires that are associated, letter templates, and billing items. So you can customize those for each process or matter. If the start date is not set, can I start anyway? I mean, the start date is expected start date or the actual date. Well, yeah, you can do that as long as you mark it completed. For example, here, I don't even have a start date, but let's say that I provide the USCIS receipt to client. I can just click here, complete it, and it's gonna, oops, where did it go? And it's going to add the end date right here. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to have the start date. The reason why we recommend it is because once you have the start date and and the number of days, the time frame, the system auto populates your deadline, and that's why. But if you don't have the start date and you simply want to rely on the task, and then again you just click complete it. That's fine as long as you use it. I think I always joke and say we can't help you with compliance, but if your team is aware of the importance of clicking here, complete it, it's for the good of the team so that everyone is on the same page. If I'm not in the office, at least someone can see that I finished this, right? Um, it's just about communication. Yeah. Someone typed LOL. All right, so next, let me look at my list because I get lost. Processes. Oh, letter templates. This is also a good feature that I feel personally when I do trainings or when I help clients that I realize they're not using it, either because they rely on whatever they are used to, like Outlook or Microsoft Word. It's okay, but the benefit of using our letter templates is that the system pulls the information from the database. So if you have sent a questionnaire to your client or prospect and they provide you with all the details, as soon as you accept the questionnaire, all the information is now here in the database. So if you run a letter template, let me show you an example. If I run a letter template, which could be for anything, it could be for like a quick email reminder, or like this one in Spanish, new questionnaire or documents checklist. Let me add a couple. Gosh, we have a lot of examples. All right, so let me show you how they look like first of all. When you create them, which again, you probably have them already in Outlook or Word, my suggestion is that you copy paste them in your admin under letter templates, and and then use the tag helper to identify anything that can be customized. So instead of you personalizing each time the letter template, you're going to let the system do it for you. So it's a letter merge. If you have a tag that says case number, the system will populate with this case number or this client's social or this client's first name. So these tags are instructions for the system. I want the custom field that we created for current household size, and then it's going to populate the value here. So it works for also custom fields that you guys create. Let me close this and show you how it works. When you create a case, if you have customized the checklist and then you have the letters, then you can just preview, see how the case number now populates and the name and the household size. So I can either create a Word document from this, a PDF, or even email it from here. The client will see that it came from my regular email. I just need to select the recipients, let's say the petitioner, and then the message will be that with all the details already customized. Now let me show you how you do it over here. In the admin, click on letter templates. Again, add a letter template and then just give it a title and copy paste the or type the body of the message. Keep in mind this is HTML, not your typical Word editor. So for example, if you hit Shift Enter, then you can do single space. Otherwise, if you hit Enter, it does double space. Little things like that, you know. And then of course, if you have two tabs open, you can easily switch to the other one and click on Tools, and you have the tag helper. The tag helper was designed to help you find these tags or instructions a lot easier. For example, I can say I'm looking for tags for individual clients that have to do with the first name. And so it's going to narrow down the search. You can locate the one you need, copy by clicking on this icon. You copy the text to the clipboard, you switch tabs, and then paste it here. So now it's going to populate the first name here. And that's it. You know, you just switch, go back and forth. Find the, maybe I want their phone number and I want for the, maybe their cell phone, or so I click here, go back, and then paste it. All right, so that's how you create the letter template. But trust me, the amount of time that you invest creating this, it's gonna pay it off. Like long-term benefit, it's higher. Let me see, someone sent a question. How can I download Amazon Workplace to do e-file on Mac, or how can I e-file on Mac? Thanks. You know what? I recommend, and well, not just me, but a lot of people recommend Parallels. Let me type it here. If I find the link, I'll send it to you. But it's better than Microsoft. I'm sorry, better than Amazon Place or Workspace. Um, it's called Parallels. It's actually cheaper too. Let me see, anyone? Okay, no more questions. I'll continue. All right, so remember, I am sharing my PowerPoint presentation, and if you click on these links, it's going to take you to either a video or an article. So make sure you do that. Now, custom fields are important too because you can add anything you want in the system. You can ask any questions like, are you a new client? Or how did you hear about us? What's your full name in native alphabet? You can create custom fields that cover text, drop-down menus, numbers, booleans, etc. So you just click on Add Client Custom Field, select the type of field, the type of client, and then the name cannot contain spaces. So you can do something like this with the underscore, but the title is okay. You can type the question normally and then simply select the type of field and then click Save. To give you a better example, let me show you the custom fields that I have for this testing site. If you notice, they are separated by different categories. For example, this is a category and this is a custom field. This is a custom field. So I can type the green card number, and if I want this to be mapped or connected to the actual government form, I can do that. Or I can run a report. How many clients do we have with a green card number? So you can do that. Um, Again, if you're not taking advantage of this, please talk to your team, someone who can help you, maybe like an intern who can help you create these. It's super helpful. Um, some of the forms have questions like, like the what is your full name in native alphabet? We don't have that typical. It's not common in every single form. So that's why you are able to create your own custom fields and connect them to the. In this example, I connected to the DS160 or the DS260. And also you can use the system as a CRM to know how many clients do you have that are new, or how many clients are here because they heard your radio spot. So you can use the system to handle your marketing needs as well. Okay, so let's go back. Let me show you how to connect those custom fields to the form. If you click on File, Form Custom Data Population, obviously after creating the custom field, you're gonna add the form that you want to customize. I think yesterday a client asked me about the I-130, so I'm gonna use that example. I locate the form, I open it, and I think it was page 3. Yes, it was page 3 of the I-130. So see how it's kind of like reddish? It's because I've linked my custom field for certificate number. I created, let me show you guys under custom fields. And so I created, here we go, a custom field that was for the naturalization certificate number. And so the I-130 is asking for this number. I created a custom field. I have the number here, the value, and then I just go to form custom data population. I open the form, I locate the field, and I click on this icon on the top, which is to set the custom data population for that field that's selected. Let me, oh, you know what? I'm doing it for the wrong field. This is it. I'm gonna delete and show you how I did it. Okay, so you're gonna click on the field, click on the icon, select the type of custom field, which was client, and it was the certificate. Mm, or not. Oh my Lord. Okay. Oh, here we go. It was. Okay. And then the form region belongs to the petitioner. And I just click OK, which now if I open the I-130, I-130, I'm going to select and add. Let me make sure that it's populating her data. Yes, it is. So page 3, look at, of course it's not. I probably linked the wrong. Give me one quick second. Actually, it's good that it's happening to me so that if it happens to you, you know how to troubleshoot. I'm thinking I picked the wrong custom field because, yeah, we have 2. So I linked this one. I was supposed to link it to this one. Okay, so we just go back to the form and readjust it. Okay, so page 3, I click on the field, I click on the icon, and then I fix it. It wasn't that one. It was this one. And then I just click OK. I'm re-adding the form because keep in mind, that was the version of the form. In fact, let me delete it. If the USCIS releases a new version, you have to remap it, just like I did right now. Correct it or remove it or change it. Here we go. So if your forms have like grayish or purplish fields, it's because they have been customized to map to transfer the information that's in a custom field. That's how it works. All right. So if you have any questions, like I said, please download my PowerPoint. I have the link to the video right here. Next, those custom fields, how do you add them to your general info page? If you noticed under, okay, let me take you back. If you notice under client, oops, of course, I log out. My bad. Okay. The, this is a contact profile. We have a general info section, and these are the typical system fields. Well, again, a client of ours suggested that it would be helpful to have some of these custom fields available here on the general info page. And we listened, and our developers created an option for you to pick and choose which custom fields show up here under the general info page. And the way you do it is you need to log in as an admin, click on custom fields. On the right hand side, you want to click on System Client Custom Fields and then go to General Info. Under the General Info section, that's where you add your custom fields or delete the ones you don't want. I don't want this one, it's gone. So that's as easy as clicking on this icon or adding a new one. All right, let's continue. For those that are subscribed to billing, one of our optional modules, in order for you to create invoices or at least track expenses, you have to have at least one billing item. Note that you can customize the types. We're going to talk about that later, but since I'm talking about billing items, might as well mention that. Because if you try to add an item, if you click here, add billing item, it's going to ask you for the type. So this is what I mean. This drop-down menu, most of the time, if you guys see type or category, it's customizable. So instead of just saying legal or professional fees, you may want to specify like FedEx, translation, consultation, etc. So I even have one, like a general one, master or general one. And then the code is something that you come up with. It could be something like N400/5K, or like you can customize this, or simply just a number, the description, and then the fee, of course. If it's an hourly rate, change that to hour or leave it blank for a flat fee, and then just click save. When you have at least one item, then you can start creating invoices because you can modify those expenses. But this is something that you should and must create in order for you to create invoices. If you have the time and the patience, go to the processes and link those items. So if that was my 5K fee for N400, then I click on naturalization. I click on the dollar sign for billing items, and then I can add it. So that way my team knows not only what forms they need to complete, but also what items for invoices they should be using. Okay. All right. So that's the billing items. Let me show you now how to create custom questionnaires. So we're going to click on custom form templates. The only option that you can technically should be using is this one, intake forms. The other ones are for our developers in case you guys hire us for professional services. But for you, click on intake forms and you have two options. Either create your questionnaire from scratch or copy the ones we have. I recommend that you do that instead of starting from zero. Click on System Intake Forms, explore the questionnaires that we have, and click on Select Copy if you want to make a copy of those questions. Why should you create all of these if it's already done for you? The only thing you need to add would be anything on the left. For example, I already have the general information for client, but I would like to add their previous addresses questionnaire or the marriage history. But it's not only clicking and adding it, but if you notice, for example, well, I'm going to ask them for previous addresses, but we just need the last 5 years. So you can customize it. You can remove questions. So if I don't need their fax number, I'm going to click here to delete that question. Or if I want to rearrange this and have the email all the way up, I can drag and drop it. Or even better, you can click on the pencil and change it here. So I want to change this email address to number 5 and click save. The other thing you can also do is at the bottom where it says options, you can click to add your logo and even number your questions. So let me preview. It has the logo. I'm going to change the title, but again, I can rearrange the order of the questions. And again, this is the reason why you want to create a custom intake form. You know, yesterday I was doing a training for a law firm that I appreciate a lot, and they told me they're still sending a Word document to their clients. The problem with that is that your client is typing their answers, they send it back to you. You open the email, you download the Word document, you're wasting a lot of time retyping that information over again. So if you can just spend the time to create your questionnaires here and then utilize our technology so that when your client types the data, you simply accept it and then it populates the forms, I think that's the reason why you want to invest the time in creating the exact questionnaire that you want. Now, you can even add other questions like the one I created for what's your full name in native alphabet. So naive. Oh God. I'm telling you, every time that I do a training or I'm doing a demo, because I'm not looking at the screen, I can't type. All right, what's your full name in native alphabet? I don't want this question all the way at the bottom. I'm gonna move it to number 3 or number 7, I don't know. And I can just click save. See, let me preview. Now the question is right here. What's your full name in native alphabet? And of course, that's a custom field that I created. I need to map it or connect it to the system. Mapping means linking. So that question that I came up with like, what's your full name in native alphabet? Where in the system is located? It's not under general info. It's under client custom field, and it's right here, full name native alphabet. I can even make these questions required. I need to request their email, their first and last name, and their phone number. So they cannot proceed if they don't give me at least those answers. Lastly, your questionnaire can have translations. Let me disable and enable again so I can choose from the menu the exact languages that I want to include. I just need to click on the language and review right here, review. So it is translated, but sometimes you might want to modify maybe cuál es su nombre. And then at the bottom, you click submit, and then you can save your, let's call this initial questionnaire. And that's it. So these questionnaires, you can send them to your clients or prospects via the passwordless link. They don't even have to log in into a client portal. If you have questions about how to create questionnaires, please remember you can contact us for technical support. We're going to talk about the resources for support. Next is form defaults. Another one of my favorites. I believe anything that saves you time is a great tool, and this is one of them. Form defaults allows you to customize a form, let's say the N400. I want to customize it so that every time that we open an N400, it has all these questions with the answers already by default. No, 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 no. Why should I click, click, click every single time? If the system can do it for me, And of course, if I need to answer yes, then you can override it. And another thing you should know is that the clients have a questionnaire for background questions. So if your client responds to these N400 naturalization questions, like, and they say yes, we transfer the yes, even if your form default says no. So this takes priority. And again, remember that if USCIS releases a new version of the form, you're responsible to remap or customize your defaults. Same thing, we have a video on that. If you need more help, you can contact us. I just want you to get the general idea. Please don't expect that um, and I say this because sometimes people expect maybe for me to go slower. This is not a private training. We do have sessions for $100 per hour. If you need us to maybe connect to your screen and then you do it, we shadow, we tell you click here, click there. We do have that. Today is just a general webinar for you to understand that it's doable, it is available, and at least you are aware. Of course, you're going to have questions when you start using it or when you start testing it or exploring, and that's why we're here to help you. So at any point, if you have questions, call us or send us a message and reach out for support. Okay? All right, so next is the document repository. Also, a great feature to have so that you can add your documents, and that if, for example, you're working from home or that you want your staff to utilize the same um, version of the document assembly, sorry, the same version of the document instead of using a different one. If, for example, I'm in the, let me close this form. Let's say I'm in the case and I need a copy of the agreement. Well, because I'm out of the office, or again, I don't have that version of the document. What's going on? I'm gonna click on documents. Oh, this got stuck. All right. All right, let me access documents. When you add the document, see where it says file location? Your staff can pull any of those documents or import them from that repository. So it's a lot easier for them to select and then utilize, you know, the agreement or the instructions. Now, also remember that you can open your documents on Office 365 online if you have Office 365, so it's easier for you to edit these documents as well simultaneously too. Next is the types. The type of reminders, type of notes, type of calendar appointments. Also yesterday they told me that they didn't know about this. You can customize a type of documents such as RFEs, EAD, 797s, anything. So if you want to track the expiration dates of any type of document, you can add it here at the type of document so that if you go to the contact profile under the document section, instead of just passport I-94 visas, click on user defined and you should see it here. And this is a drop down menu that I'm referring to. See, that's why it says type. So again, anytime that you guys see type of note or type of comment, that's customizable. See, type. Instead of saying, I have a note, it's general, no. It's related to RFE, it's related to billing, it's related to a timekeeper consultation. So it's easier for you to find stuff in the future. You can just run the report based on the type of note. Sorry, I get distracted because I see the attendees list and a lot of you familiar with your name, so it's glad to see you here. Okay, next, smart alerts. Smart alerts is another feature that all of you have, and e even though you can add an alert on a case-by-case basis, it's good to have a global alert so that you don't have to do it every single time. See, I already have one. It's actually annoying because she does have like a lot of overdue invoices. So it's technically an alert. You can add an alert, and I think our developers are working on expanding this, but I can't tell you more. But let's say that we have information that we need to share with our team. Maybe USCIS announced something important, and I want this to be like a pop-up alert. Let me show you what I mean. See how this is like shaking this red bell that's dancing? This is the alert. It tells me that this client has overdue invoices. I can add an alert manually, maybe success. Client called to say she's going to pay. Mm, okay, so let me close this and show you. If I'm the receptionist and this person calls for an appointment or whatever, and I open her profile, I have no idea whatsoever of her billing situation, but I see this alert that she has overdue invoices, but I also see that a paralegal added a note. So I don't have to go to notes, it's like on your face. And so these you can delete or modify, call back for appointment, or so I can modify these, but I cannot modify the global alert. Okay, so global alerts are from the admin, and you can also add them at the case level. And if you have a conflict of interest, let's say info, or let's say an advanced alert for any members that are like an abuser or adverse party. So I can alert my staff if there's a conflict of interest because this member has an adverse party to just be on the lookout. So those are the smart alerts. Next is the case wizard mandatory fields. First of all, let me tell you what the case wizard is. Sorry, there's a question. How can I download? No, that I already answered. What's for this pop-up only when click on the client or comes by mail? No, it's a pop-up window when you click on the client or the case profile. Yeah, and it could be for anything. Yeah, go to the admin and click on smart alerts. Okay, so what is the case wizard? Every time that you create a case, you go through this case wizard. Notice that I have red asterisk where it says case number and department. Well, these are required fields. Well, if you go into the admin under application settings, go to case settings, and then you should see this case wizard required fields. It looks like my case number and the type of process and the program. So these are fields that are required or mandatory. Maybe I want to make the application date required, or uh, what department. I mean, you can customize this. That way your staff, when they create a case, they select the, can I add a field? You mean, I think you're referring to the wizard, right? Oops. The question was, can I add a field? You mean here? Let me, yes. So the answer is no. You can't add a field here, but you can add a custom field. Remember I told you that you can customize these fields. Where are they? Custom fields. So yes and no, you can create custom fields that you can include here, but not under the case wizard. Now these, unfortunately, they're not required. Like you can force your staff to enter data on a custom field. I'm in the case window. I went to custom fields. You probably don't see that on your end because you don't have any. But know that you can, if you want, you can add as many custom fields also here at the case level. But your question was if you can create additional fields here, and the answer is no. You can't customize. The only thing you can do is make them mandatory. So for example, I want them to pick a process. I'm going to enforce this so my staff selects a process. So I go into my admin, I click on application settings, and under case settings, I go here. And then I click on process, and it will be a mandatory field. Maybe not these two, just case number and process type, and I click apply. So notice what's going to happen. Let me refresh my screen. Let's say I create a new case for Valeria. I click on create case. I select the process and then the department, and see how it tells me required fields. They have been already selected and I can proceed. Otherwise, it wouldn't let me create a new case if I don't select the required fields. Can I customize the fields under the wizard? No. Can we run reports based on the custom fields? Yes. Custom reports, again, or even if you don't have custom reports, you can do an advanced search. But yes, custom reports can give you anything, including your custom fields or anything. So yes, the answer is yes. I know we're running out of time, but I'm almost done. Speaking of custom reports, let me show you how to create them. Also from the admin, if you are subscribed to this module, go to report templates. Now, most of these reports that you want to create are already in somehow, like some way create, like we probably have a report that you can utilize. Like I talked about the custom questionnaires. Why should you create one from scratch if we already have it? For example, I think someone asked about a report for cases or case workers. We do have standard reports that are by case type or case process or cases by a attorney or paralegal. Instead of starting from zero, I'm going to make a copy of this report. So I'll say cases by Vanessa per month. And I just want to see adjustment of status cases uh, by Vanessa per month. So I need to save the report and then customize it. So now it says custom. Now I can go to select edit and then make modifications. First of all, I'm going to change the description, and only the manager and the attorneys can access this report, maybe the admin. Now I can modify the criteria. Instead of saying case workers equal to and leave it blank, I'm going to select my name. Also, instead of status equal to, I just want to see active cases. And it has to be a specific process type. So what I did, I clicked on this to add another criteria. And it's going to say case, general info, process equal to, and then I pick the type of case. I want to pick that one, or adjustment of status, or and then the creation date, I can leave it blank so I can pick the date every time, or I can simply say last month, this month, not equal, not empty. You have a lot of options, greater than, less than, but in my example, I'm saying this month. So actually, I'm going to say active monthly AUS cases by Vanessa. Okay, so once you have the report, the title, the access, the criteria, which is the filter. If you scroll down, then you have your columns. What exactly do you want to see about this report? Like about this, the data that you are pulling. I want to see the case creation date, the case number. Now, one of the things that I like is being able to click on a link and going straight to that case or that client. You can't do that if you do the first and last name separately. But let me delete these. But if you add client general info name, then you can click on that link. In fact, I always suggest that these two are a must. No matter what type of report you create, add case number and add client name so that you can click on the links. I don't care for the birthday. Well, I do care, but not for this report. I do want to see, for example, expiration date for the adjustment of status, or any other data that it's important to me. I can go straight to the case, general info, expiration date, or And then one of your columns has to have a sorting option. Otherwise, if you don't, you get an error message. So let's say that I want this to be ascending, and let's test it. I only have one this month, but it gives you an idea, right? You can save the report. And even better, I also recommend that you schedule the reports. If you click on schedule reports, you can add any type of report that you have. For example, the one I just modified, you know, or maybe payments, expiration dates, filing fees, anything. I want to see how many clients owe more than $10. I can create the report as an Excel report. I want to send that on a daily basis starting today until 2030. I don't know. And I just add the recipient. That person doesn't have to have a license and they don't need to be using eIMMIGRATION. They're going to get that Excel spreadsheet on a daily basis from me with invoice really, invoice data, billing information. So you can create as many reports as needed, schedule them, and save so much time and money. I'll say FYI billing report and then the subject. Invoices with more than $10 past due balance or oh look at that. No typos. And then save it. That's it. You schedule the report. Now, if you don't see the report on this drop-down menu, it's because the report has incomplete or like the data or the criteria is not defined. For example, the one I just created, I think I did it under, no, it's actually defined. So what I mean by not defined is like if you leave it like this in and the system doesn't know what is your selection. So I think maybe I couldn't find it because I was looking for something else. So it's under active monthly. So let me go back, schedule reports, add. Oh, it's right here. Active monthly AUS. Yeah. The reason why again, sometimes you cannot find a report, it's because the criteria is not defined. Okay, next, we're almost done. Under application settings at the bottom of your screen, I'm in the admin, you're gonna see a lot of options, but trust me, you want to explore these. Why? Because like I said, sometimes if you don't click, it makes a huge difference. For example, if I don't click here, my e-signature feature is not enabled. If I don't click here, I get tons of emails every time a client sends an intake form. So I have 10 questionnaires for 10 clients. I get 100 emails on that day. So if you want to get a single notification per client when they're done, then you click here. So that's what I mean. Like explore your application general settings so that you can, you know, customize the way you want the system. One feature that is new is this one, like you can show questionnaires for all case workers, or if you uncheck it, only case workers see the related questionnaires. Obviously applies to just non-admins. Or this is new too, again, based on feedback from you guys. So please keep them coming. When you have a file and it's a JPEG or GIF, or you can auto convert those to PDFs. Again, you have to click here. So please make sure that you explore the application settings and yeah, and make a difference. For example, under the general info page, you probably don't want to see like fax number or degree, or you don't care for like household size. Well, if you want to hide these, go to the application settings and then under client settings, it's right here at the bottom. Wait, no, it's right here. General info layout on the right hand side. Click on general info layout and then hide anything you don't want to see. So you can just disable. I don't care for like major fellow study, degree, or household size or income. I'm gonna click apply And let me refresh so you can see. It's gone. No household size or income or so again, if you want to customize it, go to the application settings under client settings. It's called general info layout and then just enable or disable the fields. Let me just bring it back. How to add the logo. If you click on application settings as well, on the right hand side, click on branding. Make sure your logo it's 300 by 70 pixels in GIF format only. That's where you can upload it. And lastly, we have a feature called referrals. Again, you need to enable it. Now you have the statuses. So this is new. It's not just the location, I'm sending it to the family law firm, but also like the reason why I'm referring them to another attorney, let's say domestic violence. And lastly, what the status is approved. And you can have different statuses. When you run reports, you can know, okay, how many clients did we refer to this attorney? What's the status? Or, um, yep, so that's in the admin as well. Thank you so much for your patience. We're almost done. Remember to download my PowerPoint presentation so you can click on the links. So now I'm going to show you a did you know section or not. Hold on, I think it's not in order. I'm going to show you the resources and support. You can call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. You can email us. You can reach out also from your home screen where it says technical support. You can send your feedback to developers. You have the user's guide. We do these trainings for free, Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a podcast. We have a Facebook forum page, a YouTube channel, and please make sure you subscribe. Here we go. This is a Did You Know section. Excuse me. So click on the links to know more about what are these, the timekeeper, how you can request documents via a link that doesn't require the clients to log in. They just click on the link via text message, WhatsApp, take a picture with their phone of like the passport, upload it, send it to you. Anyway, so we have a lot of cool features, but probably you're not utilizing. So, or you're not aware that we e-file forms, not just the Department of State forms, but also USCIS forms. You can reach out if you're interested in upgrading your plan. Some of the questions that you guys sent us were how to create a custom report based on cases and caseworkers. Again, the system already offers a standard report for cases and caseworkers, but to create a report, a custom report, access the admin and click on report templates. I put the link right here. I like to know more about system and case processes. Are all system processes populated with forms, steps, documents, etc.? The system provides a default processes, I think about 100. But not all system processes include the documents, checklist, or process steps, as this vary from office to office. So we have consulting attorneys who handle these customizations, and if there's a missing or incomplete system process, you can report that to us. Let me show you quickly what I'm talking about. In the system, again, on the admin, if you go to case processes, the question is related to these on the right-hand side. System processes are the ones that the system offers you by default and you cannot delete them, but you can make a copy of them. Our consulting attorneys customize these. So if you say, hey, you guys don't have the TPS process. So we talk to the consulting attorneys and they create it and it's right here. So not every process has the steps or the documents checklist, but they do have the, or not. This one doesn't have the forms. Well, this is our testing site. But check the system processes, and like I said, if you don't see the this one has the checklist. Yeah, so the reason why we don't have the steps or the documents or maybe letters is because you have to customize them and each office works differently. But thank you for the question. Just let us know and we can report that to our consulting attorneys. Is there a way to create a custom form instead of an intake form without having to upload a template. Not from the end user access, but our development team offers professional services such as custom forms for an additional fee. To give you an idea, I have a client who paid extra for our developers to generate a custom contract or an agreement that auto-populates and also allows the client to sign electronically. So it is a custom form. If you are interested in that, you can reach out for a quote. Our developers are the ones that create the FAR file and you upload it. So if you guys go to your admin and you click here under custom form templates, this is what they're referring to. They probably try to upload the file here, and you can't do that. Our developers will have to do it for you, and there's an additional fee. You need a you need to send us the document so that they can give you a quote. So these are the upcoming trainings, both September and October. So make sure that you click to register or share with your staff. And also don't forget to connect with us, especially subscribe to the YouTube channel or join the podcast and the Facebook group. And thank you so much on behalf of Serenade for your time. I hope that you learned something new. I didn't really launch any other polls, but I hope that your questions were addressed. So let me know by clicking on your screen before you disconnect. And there's a survey after you disconnect. So I appreciate the feedback. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. You have a great weekend too. Any other questions before you disconnect, please message me. They don't have to be related to admin, but they do have to be related to immigration though. So let me know if you have any questions and I can help you. If not, have a great weekend. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here.